Well, that was riveting. So last night I saw the movie Whatever Happened to Baby Jane because they brought it back to theaters to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the movie. And oh my god, that movie was insane. It was a little campy at times, but I feel like it was it just sucked you in to the toxicity of these siblings. As soon as it started, I just could not look away. I didn't check my phone. I was just like watching this movie. Holy shit. Not a lot of movies could do that for me. I'm usually kind of easily distracted, but this one was really good. The acting, extremely good. Betty Davis and Joan Crawford are so good. Like, the dynamic. Also, considering they hated each other in real life, I feel like it adds to it, not distracts from it. The music in this movie is a little bit like I feel like it's a little off place at times, like something sinister's happening, but then you have all this happy music, and then I don't know. I feel that might have been the point though. It reminds me of like a Hitchcock movie, just the way it's filmed. I don't know, it's just kind of creepy. Like I know it came out 2 years after Psycho. It was like a little bit of like that, kind of a little uneasiness, but then also like Rear Window with the mom and the daughter watching. I don't know. It just has a little Hitchcock elements to it. Crazy blondes. Actually, usually in Hitchcock it's crazy brunettes, so I guess they switched it up on this time. So the movie focuses on these two older sisters. They don't exactly explain how old they are. I'm just gonna guess like late 60s. Even though both of the actresses were in their 50s, they made them look older. So Blanche, played by Joan, she now has to ride around in a wheelchair because she got injured in a mysterious car accident. And Jane, aka Baby Jane, played by good old Betty Davis, she used to be like this child's doll with this creepy life-sized doll. That was anywhere near me, I'd shoot it. Creepy as fuck, man, that doll. And as the years went on, Blanche became more famous, acting in more serious roles, while Jane kind of got out of the spotlight. And they live in this creepy old Hollywood mansion where Jane keeps Blanche in a room upstairs. Of course, upstairs, so she can't leave it. So, Jane just kind of starts off not the best at the start of the movie. And then Jane just gets crazier, crazier, and crazier as the movie goes on. Now, I haven't seen Betty Davis in that much, but I did really like her in All About Eve. And All About Eve, she kind of starts off as kind of this, rich asshole who you find out actually she's a pretty good person compared to the other asshole in this movie. I'm not gonna really talk about it. That's a different video. But in this, um, yeah, no, she's crazy. She's so good at playing crazy. Um, it it's a little hammy, but that's also the point. You see this girl's madder and madder as the movie goes on, similar to Jack Nicholson from The Shining. Just one of those performances, just very. That's just cracking as it goes on. And by the end of it, she's a complete lunatic. But at the same time, you kind of feel sorry for her because she is, just a mentally unwell woman who isn't getting help. Even though the people around her try to give her help, she doesn't. She's in a state where she doesn't accept it. And Joan Crawford is also very good in this movie. The whole movie, she's basically getting tortured. And you wouldn't expect the movie to be as funny as it is, because it also has some like funny parts to it. But yeah, no, she's pretty much getting tortured the entire movie. Like Betty's giving her these dead animals for lunch, and she's beating her up and tying her up. It's a lot of disgusting stuff, taking away her lines of communication. But Joan Crawford plays her very well, playing her as pretty much anybody else would react. Just very timid and scared, though I do wonder why she didn't try to tell the neighbors. She could have just shouted out the window, "Help me, the crazy sister's keeping me hostage." She could have done that. I don't know why she didn't. Maybe she was afraid Jane would heal and then go crazy and kill her or something like that. But yeah, I don't know why she didn't do that. I also like the supporting characters, like the weird piano teacher or the weird piano guy who was basically just scamming her, kind of scamming her, because he's not exactly as well off as he thinks he is. He's just a weird guy. I don't really know how he fits in the story, but he's just kind of weird, and his mom. It's just a very strange dynamic that could have been an entire movie in its own right. Um, yeah, I don't know. He was just kind of, I don't know, it made me uncomfortable sometimes, but also kind of funny too. And that poor cleaning lady, that poor woman, man, she was like the only small person in this movie, I guess, or the only not crazy person or just victim in the movie. I mean, she is little, but she's the only one who actively tries to get Blanche out of the house. The doctor's like, "Oh, I'll be there right away," and then 5 minutes later, Betty calls him pretending to be Blanche, and he's like, "Oh, okay." Like if I was him, I would have double checked, just to be sure, because like, who knows? From his point of view, Blanche might have a gun on her to say stuff like that. It just, he just kind of gave up. But the cleaning woman, I forgot her name. She did not give up. She tried to help Blanche get out of there, but good old baby Jane with her big hammer stopped that from happening. The movie just amps up as it goes on. She becomes just more and more disturbing as it goes on, which kind of heightens the tension. Really good job there. Um, I like how it's a black and white movie because I feel like it has more of that like film noirness to it. I don't know. Like the whole kind of neighborhood and like the house itself is kind of creepy, and the fact that like Blanche and Betty Davis's character Jane, the name of the movie, I keep forgetting the name. Well, baby Jane's face looks even creepier in black and white. I don't know, it's just really well done. Now this movie leaves us on an open-ended ending, but we don't exactly know whether or not Blanche dies or not, because it ends with Jane dancing around with the ice cream cones like she's the Joker or something. And the police check her body, but we don't really know if she's dead or not. And I mean, it doesn't really matter because that's the end of the movie, I guess. But my second question is, who was really responsible for the car accident? Because at the end of the movie, Blanche is like, "Oh yeah, I lied to you. It was actually me trying to hit you, but then bumped her spine." Which is a good option, but is she lying just to make Jane feel better? We don't exactly know. That leaves that up to interpretation too. I feel like most people would think that Blanche was telling the truth, but maybe she wasn't, because we don't actually see it in the flashback. It's just her telling all that. So, who really knows, you know? Nobody really knows whatever happened with Baby Jane. Huh. That makes sense for the title. So let me know what you thought of this movie down in the comments below. I think it's very memorable. I love kind of weird movies like this. That's why I'm a huge fan of David Lynch. Yeah, but the movie seems to me like Sunset Boulevard meets The Shining, which are both really good movies. So, yeah, I enjoyed this immensely. Great job, Betty Davis. Great job, Joan Crawford. I don't know, you guys hated each other in real life, but you made a really good movie. So, yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments below. And until then,